we are doing a show in 3, 2, 1, go. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us under the library. This is a tabletop RPG podcast. We are currently playing Call of Cthulhu and doing it live. We are script free, creating our story collaboratively and in the moment. Just a reminder, a few of us are going to be at Chaosium Con, April 14th through the 16th. We're speaking in some seminars, we're running some workshops. Emily's emceeing the podcasters panel. If you want to learn more, or if you want to get tickets, you can do so at chaosium.com. My name's Arthur. I am playing Buddy. I am joined tonight by Scott as Johnny Daunte, Emily as Colette, and we are without a Rick and a Wayne tonight. So that just leaves the last person in our group. That is the Keeper. He's the guy who wrote this sandbox that we are playing in, maybe making a mess in. He's our Keeper. That's Michael. Michael, show's all yours. Take it away.
Thanks. Under the Library is a horror tabletop role-playing game set in the Call of Cthulhu universe. We have horror and other unsettling imagery featuring mature themes played by immature people. Not safe for Scott is your signal. The following information will be graphic. If you're concerned, skip ahead, but stick with us, because if you need to turn off your camera in a Zoom meeting to adjust your chair, you're probably in the right place. And with that, I'll turn it over to Emily for
I have no idea what
recap.
you're talking about, Michael.
None at all.
No idea whatsoever.
Can you turn your camera back on, Scott? Thanks.
So, as we opened our last episode, Buddy had just dropped a match into a bucket filled with alcohol and the mysterious book, hoping to destroy the thing that destroyed his friend. As he watches it burn, Sam has made his way up the train and enters the front car to find the bloody scene with Buddy in front of the fiery bucket. Sam tries to speak to Buddy, but he is unable to come out of his state of shock. And Sam covers Eddie's body and some of the blood on the floor with tablecloths. As all of this is happening, Colette has awakened from a dream where the screech of train brakes, kind of morphed into the sounds of screaming on the train she is riding in. But she's not sure what's happening and moves forward to investigate. She runs into the same woman, Amanda, that spoke to Sam, and she and Amanda move the bloody woman who is in shock into her car. Colette continues forward and finds the scene in the dining car as I just described it, except that Buddy has moved on to attempting to burn the pages of the book. He has unfortunately also spilled some alcohol on the counter and lights himself on fire. I'm sorry, Buddy.
It was not good.
Sam leaps on Buddy to put out the fire. Colette would have done the same, but she didn't get there quite fast enough. Buddy is okay, but slightly singed. Sam spots a spot of blood on Colette's cuff, and she tears it off to avoid potential infection.
And we should probably just pick right up with Johnny, who has moved forward into the food preparation car, right? The kitchen car. Is that what is?
Yeah,
I was where it's going to happen.
Let me pull this forward. I was going to find someone on the train.
Did you bump that when you moved your chair?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
So I was going to find the conductor or someone from the train to notify them of what happened.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right. So what you would move through first is the kitchen car, the food preparation car. So right now you have this whole kind of collision of people covered in blood. You're standing in basically in all of the chaos of the staff and probably patrons that were in the dining car, also intermingled with the people who are chopping up food and starting to prepare things.
Okay. And I have my badge out.
Okay.
My FBI badge.
And nobody's really paying attention to you.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I just have it out, and I'm sort of keeping it in front of me. And I'm saying, excuse me, pardon me, I need to go find the conductor. Pardon me, folks, I need y'all to calm down. Just move to the sides. Everything's going to be okay. The FBI's on top of this, but I need to get through.
Okay.
So, are people moving for me?
Yeah. And they are. I mean, they're not standing in your way. They're more. You'd have to do some pushing and shoving slightly because they're really not giving you their full attention. Some of them are in shock and things like that.
Physically, I'm a pretty big guy, so I'm just sort of shoving my way through, and I'm not double barrel sort of, but I'm just sort of forcing my way through. And the first person that I see that has sort of a train conductor's uniform or just something that makes them look a little bit more official, I'm going to grab them.
Okay. And that's probably going to be, well, unless you want to grab one of the kitchen staff.
No.
Okay. So then you would head into the next car and hang on, I'm just taking my little notes here on our chart. And you would arrive essentially in what we'll call the staff car. And so it's basically a place for people working on the train to take their breaks, collection of kind of things that they might need for various maintenance items inside the train, not outside the train.
Okay.
And yep.
And
so,
did any of the people from the dining car that I can see, like noticeably, come into this car, or did they sort of go to the kitchen car and stop?
yeah, they're mainly in the kitchen car, like,
Okay.
because they're covered. They're just trying to figure out
I just
what
didn't
happened.
know if someone covered in blood had shown up in this room, they would be in a very different state than if they just had no idea what was going on.
Right. And so actually when you arrive in the staff car, you have some ticket takers, you have some people who are responsible for cleaning, and there would also be like linen storage, some other things in this car necessary for its kind of functioning. And everybody, they would just kind of look up at you. They're not really aware, right?
Yeah.
If you think about, yeah.
Okay, so I'll hold up my badge. I'm gonna say, Johnny Daunte. I'm with the FBI. I guess y'all don't have any knowledge of this because it's a little bit loud between the trains. But there was a tragic accident, a terrible accident in the dining car. There's blood everywhere. Someone was killed, and I need to talk to someone in charge right away.
And a guy in a kind of grayish uniform puts down his paper and he looks at you and he cocks his eyebrow and he says, well, the conductor's right ahead in the locomotive there.
Okay. He's the only person of authority on this train. There's no one else that can help me because I'm pretty sure he's got to keep driving the train.
I mean, what do you need us to do? What kind of authority are you looking for? I take tickets. I punch tickets. I don't.
Yeah, and I'm sure you do well at that. All right, I'm gonna keep. I said, all right, I'll go talk to the conductor and see if he can get something done. So I'll just sort of shove my way through, open up the door in between, and go into the front car.
Okay. And well, what you would realize then is as you arrive at the front car that getting into kind of the front car is going to involve actually it has its own little cabin on it for the conductor. He never actually goes back into the main train. So there's a phone on the wall that you can ring up and you can call his forward car, or you would have to literally like walk around.
No. I'll call.
Okay.
I'll call the car.
Okay. And so it's just, yeah, it's got its own little mechanism. Picks up conductor.
Hi, this is Johnny Daunte. I'm with the FBI. I was sent forward by some of your crack staff there's been a terrible accident in the dining car. There was an explosion of some sort. There's a dead man. No one from your staff is helping to clean up. They all seem to run away, and they were just sitting in the lounge car. I need someone of authority, someone that can help me to get this cleaned up, and we can start dealing with this. I'm also going to need to phone ahead to the station and let them know what happened.
Okay. He says we can't. This is just between the cars. We're not going to be able to radio the station right now. It's out at the moment.
They didn't have radios in 1930.
No. Can you let me finish? He says the radio's out in the train. He says I'm not going to be able to radio forward.
I gotcha.
But do you need me to stop the train?
No, I think we could just keep going. But if we can get some of your people back there to help get this cleaned up and start dealing with this, it's a long train ride, and we can't have a body just sitting there in the middle of the floor.
Okay, and then so you have full authority on my behalf to get whoever you need to help you clean it up and get that mess cleaned. It's going to be at least 4 or 5 hours until we arrive at the next station.
Okay, and is there a refrigeration car? Is there someplace where we can keep the body so that it doesn't start rotting?
That would be the food prep car.
Oh, we're about to ruin a lot of people's meals.
Yeah. I don't think that's food safe.
Well, it's a stomach cavity, so it's meant for food.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
all right.
It's not a whole body, at least. Right?
Thank you, sir. So, conductor? What's your name again?
This is Jim.
Jim. All right, Jim. I'll let him know that it's on your authority. Thanks so much. Hang up, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go to the guy that was being a bit of a Weisenheimer. I'm going to be like you, and you, and I'll just point to 3 people, and I'll be like, Jim, the conductor. Let me know that I've got charge of you guys to get this thing cleaned up. So I need you to come on. I need you to bring some tarps and some things to get the body wrapped up. We're going to have to put it in refrigeration, which means we're going to be ruining some of your food for a while.
Oh, wow. All right. So they essentially grab linens, right? So bed sheets and I think all the tablecloths were in the dining car. So
yeah, and I'll tell them like buckets, mops, sponges. Like this is an explosion, people. This is going to be a lot of mess to clean up, and you don't want to leave this out there.
Okay. All right, and so they'll start following you back, and then we'll cut to Colette and Buddy. Yeah, y'all are in the same room together. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Buddy was starting to move out, but hadn't yet because we were discussing where everybody was located.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Buddy's stepping out from behind the bar.
All right.
Colette, did you have something you wanted to do, or you want me to?
I mean, I would try to speak to you, but I already have the impression that you're probably not. I thought you were kind of already moving towards the front of the train, and if that was the case, I was going to try to follow. I'm worried about you, Buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm going out from behind the bar, and what I am looking for is an exterior wall of the train. Is there a space where I can get to an exterior wall, Michael?
Yeah, the dining car, I mean, those are all going to be exterior walls in the dining car.
Okay.
Essentially, right?
Yeah, so sort of across from the bar is what I'm envisioning.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to go across, find a space in between tables where I can get to the exterior wall. I'm going to take that popsicle, that book popsicle that I've got, sort of skewered on the ice pick. I'm going to set it in the corner so that it's sort of leaning up against, like on the floor, leaning up against the exterior wall.
Okay.
Twist the ice pick to pull it out.
Okay.
So that the book is then leaning up against the wall.
Okay.
I'm going to take out my 45.
Okay.
And I'm going to plug that book probably 3 or 4 times.
If you're taking out your gun, I would at least ask what you're doing. But I understand if you're still not responsive.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if you do say that, then I would say I gotta kill this book. This book killed Eddie. I gotta stop it. I gotta destroy it. And I just start shooting.
Okay.
All right. Make your firearms roll.
Okay.
Hopefully, an advantage.
Yeah.
I missed 3 times.
Where am I with this? Is
Yeah,
that
in
the
fact,
skill?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a hit. That's a hit.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need.
Yeah.
In fact, one of them was a hard success. Without advantage, the first 3 were all successes. Buddy's pretty good with a
Okay.
with a
All right.
pistol.
And so you put 3 holes in the book then.
Okay, and the bullets do go through it.
Yes. What I was actually rolling more to see if they like ricocheted off.
That's
but,
what I was worried about.
Yeah. They it puts 3 holes in it. But they don't the holes don't go all the way through.
Oh, interesting. So the bullets are still inside.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I would like to take the ice pick again, sort of spin the book around so that it's laying on the floor and the spine is to the left.
Okay.
Again, stick the ice pick in, open it up, and see if I can find where the bullets are. And I also want to be inspecting the pages to see if anything is there any sort of. I'm expecting some sort of magical thing to take place.
Yeah. And as you open the book and make a sand roll for this.
Okay. That's definitely going to be a failure.
Yeah, you knew this was coming, huh?
I did.
And Colette, are you watching this?
Oh my God, I
am.
missed it by 1. Oh no, I didn't. Oh no, I did. That was my original. No, yeah, that's a miss.
Okay. And Colette, you probably need to make a little sand roll for this too.
That's a fail.
Okay, you'll both take 2 points of sand damage then as the pages start to essentially heal.
Okay.
The bullets themselves are, as you open the back cover, they're flattened, right, pieces of metal, and they, as you open the cover, they tinkle down. Is that the right? Yeah.
Tinkle.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
definitely the right word.
That's definitely the right word.
Called the keeper tinkle.
They tumble down and clink against each other, and as the pages start to heal in front of you.
Okay. God damn it. All right. Well, Buddy is just gonna sit there and stare at that book. And I'm just gonna be mumbling.
Okay. Yeah. While you start to sit, I would at least try to stop you from sitting, afraid that you're going to sit in blood with thoughts of infection in my mind.
All right,
Buddy,
so
this probably isn't the place you want to. Maybe we could take the book. It's there's something about it. We obviously can't leave it.
I'm kind of looking around. Is it bloody where I am?
I mean, most probably at that point.
Okay.
Well, actually, wait.
You said it was pretty directional.
Yeah, it would be pretty direct. So no, it's except everybody running around sloshing the parts around. That's the part that made it. That's the part that made it rough.
Not safe
Sorry.
for Scott.
Sloshing the parts.
Sloshing the body parts.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably once she points this out, it would probably be something you'd be more aware of and realize it's probably not a great idea to sit down on. At this point, I'm guessing most of it would be drier, but
okay. Then in that case, what I'll do.
You do have an open wound on your arm too.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
So at some point soon, hopefully, I come back in the room.
We're trying to eat up a little bit of time because, actually, yeah, you would have been. That's true. You would have been.
Yeah, I mean,
the other way in the timeline.
You burned a book, you shot it, like you did a bunch of stuff in the time that I went in, talked, had a second conversation, ordered him to get some stuff and came back. So my guess is I was gone 10 minutes.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke the book again and I'm going to sit in a chair at a table. Okay. The thing is, I do not want to go into a car where there are other people because I want to keep this book as far away from other people as possible.
Okay.
I'm going to be sitting at a table on a chair, just find a chair that's not bloody, sit in it. And I'm just going to be like mumbling to myself, trying to figure out what to do.
Okay. And Colette, do you want to do anything?
I'm going to back out of the room.
Okay. Are you going back towards Amanda?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, as you exit the car, Johnny, you're entering the car, and there's Buddy sitting at a table, book on an ice pick, mumbling to it, and you have these three employees basically behind
Yep.
you with stacks of sheets and things.
In mops and buckets,
mops,
right?
And,
Like
yeah,
I,
and
yep.
mops and buckets. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, all right. So I'm going to be like, all right, guys, I know this isn't pretty. I know this isn't what you signed up for, but we got to get this cleaned up right away. Okay.
But he's sort of freaking
And,
out that people just came in that he doesn't know. So he's going to jump up and say he's going to look for a tablecloth. Is there another tablecloth that Sam
Sure, there
didn't
could be
grab?
one on a table.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, then I'm just going to grab a tablecloth, wrap the book up, and head out the way
Okay.
Colette went.
Okay.
but I'll call out, hey, buddy. Remember Johnny Daunte? We met. I'm a friend.
Yeah,
Can
I
you
got
give me
to
2
kill the
seconds?
book. I got to kill the book. I can't let
I
anybody
don't
get
know
near
what
this.
that means.
And
Well, we got to get the body cleaned up, and I was hoping you could help.
he's heading away.
He's gone.
Yeah, so if I see you follow me out, I will join you. We could walk
Johnny,
together back down
Not
the
for
train.
nothing, but as you're leaving, you hear Johnny say, "What the fuck is wrong with that guy?"
And I'm guessing.
Well, Colette already doesn't like Johnny then.
Colette didn't hear Johnny.
Yeah, Colette wouldn't have heard that.
Well,
but-
who heard it? You just
I
said.
think
Buddy would
that's
have
for
heard
the
it.
audience.
I know.
Buddy, I'm guessing there's at least a moment where you're in between cars.
Yep.
That you're looking down between the tracks.
Yep.
With this bundle of book and
Yeah.
contemplating.
So
right?
that's true. So you know this, but the audience doesn't, and Scott and Emily don't. So one of the things that Buddy's considering is having the train run over the book. But the only reason that Buddy's not doing that is he's really concerned about someone else finding it. So he's worried that if the train runs over it and it doesn't destroy it, it's going to be on the tracks and someone could find it. So, and that's right now, other than going forward and dropping it in the engine, which he's already thinking is not going to work because fire didn't destroy it once, so more fire won't destroy it again. That's the only other thing that he can think of at the moment. So that's why he's sort of contemplating that.
We have to find our way to Mount Doom.
Right? Exactly. Yes.
And Johnny, I need to retcon back just a moment. When you came into the dining car, before you came into the car, there was a man in between the cars. He was kind of leaned over looking down at the tracks. Probably given all the people you would have just pushed through in the food prep car, he wouldn't have mattered much to, like, he wouldn't have stood out in any way. He might have looked
Other than the fact
nauseous
that
or
he's
something.
carrying a shotgun.
Oh yeah, that's true. He would have a shotgun. So
I noticed a guy with a shotgun.
yeah.
Yeah, Sam Wagoneer, although Johnny doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. I had have said, fella, I don't know what you're doing with that shotgun, but you got to get that thing put away right away, please. I'm Johnny Daunte. I'm with the FBI. I'm helping to investigate this murder. So please get that shotgun put away. There's already enough stuff going on.
Okay. And then I'm not going to act.
Yeah,
for
you
Rick,
can't
but-
play for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey.
When I come back, is he gone or is he still there?
What do you mean when you
This
come
would have
back?
been as you came
this would have
from
been if you-
into the dining car. You
Oh,
would have
I
seen him
gotcha.
just outside the dining car.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna lead him in. Ask him to sort of clean. I've already searched the body. I sort of. So what I'm doing at this point is I don't want to touch the body, but I want to look and inspect and see if I can find powder residue. I'm convinced it's a bomb, right? So I'm looking for, any particulates from an explosive, anything that would indicate what type of explosive it was.
Okay, make a spot hidden roll.
Okay. Spot hidden. My first is Johnny Daunte. Got a 19, and my spot hidden is 51. So I got a
Hard
super
success.
duper wonderful success.
Yeah. All right.
How long
so-
have you been playing this game? You don't know what it's called.
Don't judge me. I got a mega success, Michael.
Sure. Things that you would notice, right? There's no shrapnel whatsoever. Everything that was on the table is basically pushed off from the opposite side from Eddie, like some sort of force moved.
So I can see the directionality of it.
So you see that. You also look at the window above Eddie, and remember there's a hole in the glass there in the window above Eddie, and noticing that the glass fell outside the train.
So it was powerful enough to knock the glass out.
Yeah. But it's a very yes. And then let's see what else would be.
And I'm going to look at the wood, like the counter in front of where the body was, to see if I can see explosive damage at the wood, because I'm figuring he's belly up to the bar. It's his belly that was blown up. So I'm expecting there to be sort of wood taken out, like indications of an explosion in the wood itself.
Yeah. And that's completely intact, right? It's
and that mystifies me. Right. So that would mystify me, because I'm like, what? And I'll sort of say out loud, I'm like, what the hell was the bomb inside his body?
Right. But there's really no evidence. There's no burning. There's no singeing.
Yeah.
There's nothing that if he even had a bomb inside his body, there's really no evidence. So everything that you're looking at says that this was purely a biological event. The window, though, you do find, I would say you probably find more mystifying than no damage to the tabletop whatsoever.
Yeah.
Michael, does he smell smoke?
Oh, you do actually. You do smell burning flesh,
and what paper smoke, right?
Yeah, and paper
smoke and gunpowder.
That's true. Yep. Yeah, because I just
that's
discharged
true.
my weapon.
And
Yeah.
gunpowder. So I'm like, what the hell is going on in this place? Because when I walked through the first time, I'm assuming I didn't smell any of that stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
So
but the explosion would have already happened. So all of these are new smells.
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm
notice.
saying. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I was gone for 10 minutes. What the hell?
Are you
I was like,
continuing
all
to
right.
look around? Like, are you looking through the whole car, or are you just looking over on the explosion site?
No, I'm not looking at the whole car.
Okay.
I don't want to metagame it, because
Okay.
I'm looking where the explosion happened.
Yep.
I'm looking at the thing. I'm looking where the explosion would have impacted.
But do make a listen roll, and you can make it at advantage.
Ooh, I got a 3.
All right.
Holy
So you
shit.
hear Phil over by the bar. Phil's the man that you talked to, who you kind of roped into helping with this. You hear him over at the bar going, "What in the hell happened in here? They're trying to set this whole car on fire?" And then we'll cut to Colette and Buddy.
So, assuming we're still moving together, I would just, again, Buddy, you have to talk to me.
So Buddy's trying to stay away from you.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
he doesn't want you near the book.
Mhm.
So if you say you can't get near the book, you got to stay away from the book. I gotta destroy this book. I can't let it near anybody else. It's what killed Eddie.
That means you're not safe either.
It doesn't matter. Somebody's got to destroy this.
Can we go back to our...
Yeah, go, and then go into your go into your what's the word we couldn't remember last time?
I'm not going to leave you.
Cabin. That's not
with
cabin.
this
What's the
book.
word? Compartment. You gotta go into your compartment.
You're around hundreds of people. You might as well go back with me where we can at least...
I know. I want to get into my compartment because there's nobody else there.
Yeah. It's my compartment too.
But you can't go in there. I've got to.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna put the
I
book
saw
in
you
there.
shoot it. I saw you burn it.
Yeah, but I can't let this be around any people. And Buddy's like starting to panic because like there's people around and you're sort of blocking him. So he's starting to back off a little bit. Colette, you gotta let me by.
I'll let you by, but I'm going to follow. I can't leave you with this.
Fine, but you gotta let me by. I can't let this book near you.
I'll step by.
Okay.
But
and then Buddy's
I'm
just
follow
going
you
to
down the
book
train.
past you. I'm going to like basically not run, but really fast walk back to my compartment. Thank you. Compartment. Open the door to the compartment and then quickly close and lock it as I go through.
And one of the people you not heavily but lightly kind of shoulder check as you try to rush through is Amanda.
Fucking
right?
Amanda.
She's everywhere.
Yeah.
So if I
So
do
she shoots you in the back of the head.
if I do bump into someone, I would say, "Excuse me, ma'am."
It's okay. And she's like seeing your arm. I mean, there's like you're looking like a mess. So yeah. And then Colette, what are you gonna do?
Well, I know where Buddy's headed, so there aren't too many options.
Mhm.
I'm going to stop and talk to Amanda.
Okay.
I was actually planning to stop by her compartment, but since she's in the hall, that makes it easier. Are we near her compartment? It's number 35. I don't know what car we're in now. 38.
Yeah, she took a little longer time getting the woman settled. And she's headed back to hers because she's in the car right before you get to your car.
So if she seems to be on the move, I'll say hello. We presumably recognize each other, and I'll start to move with her. And I'll say, I figured out what happened, but I don't want to tell you here. Would you mind if I stepped in?
Absolutely. And so she goes, in fact, my room's right here. And, there's number 38.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Buddy's locked in a car. You're inside her car. Pretty standard fare beds. She has the whole car to herself, though, which you immediately notice. She only has one suitcase in there. So you would probably surmise somewhat that she's at least fairly well-to-do, that she bought the whole car. And we'll cut back to Johnny, who's just overheard Phil about the fire.
Yep. So I'm going to come over and say, hey there. What are you talking about with burning? That
look at this mess. And as you look down, I mean, you don't even need him to explain. There's
so I see a bucket.
Yeah.
I see that there's been a fire in the bucket. It's all black inside. I probably smell some of the alcohol.
Yeah, there's linen.
There.
There's linen fabric that's charred off to the side, and the bucket actually has a fair amount of ash, like something burned in there. In fact, probably it didn't burn all that long. There's like a piece, like you could even maybe see a piece of a book cover in there. Because that's right, you stirred it around, buddy. So
because the one book didn't burn,
but then regenerated.
No, there were two books in there.
Yeah, there were two books in the bag.
So one book burned, the other one didn't. And when I pulled out the one that didn't, the rest of the burned away bag and the other book are still.
The other book is the one that was hidden in Richard's house that Pappy found.
No, the other book is Colette's journal.
Joe's journal.
Joe's journal. Sorry, Colette.
Okay, so
then
I'm gonna.
What is this book? I'm sorry. I thought this evil book was the book that Joe had.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, there was another book. There was another book that was Joe's sketchbook, not Joe's journal, but Joe's sketchbook. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Okay, so I'll be like, what the hell? What does this have to do with the explosion that just happened? And I've got my notebook out, and I'm just starting to put together as many of the pieces as I can, and I'm going to be like, I'm smelling this. And why the hell am I smelling gunfire? And I'm going to start looking around.
What kind of pistol do you have, buddy? Would it have left casings on the floor?
Oh yeah, what if it's a 45 automatic? Yep.
Okay, so then you would probably instinctively just kind of look over the front of the bar, and you would see the casings on the floor.
I'm telling them, I'm like, all right, guys, do me a favor. I know I asked you to clean. I'm gonna ask you to hold off for a second. There's something going on here. I got to figure what this shit is. So just stop cleaning for a second. Don't leave. Just wait.
Okay,
And I'm
kind
gonna
of
look.
shrugs. You're the boss. All right.
Yeah. Start looking around. I'm looking for bullet holes. I'm looking for casings, and I'm gonna sort of just do a scan of the whole floor. Start on one side of the car and work my way to the other. So I'll start on the wall that was closest to where we came in from the kitchen.
Yeah. And so on that end, everything's pretty clear, right? There's just like footprints from people who tracked any blood as they ran out of the car. There's some broken glasses, nothing that stands out. As you get back to the middle of the car where the bar is, there's shell casings, but as far as you can tell, there's no places for bullets to have gone unless they went through the window where Eddie was seated. But you know from before, right, that window was already broken and this gunpowder smells new. So you don't see any holes. You don't see any places that bullets would be. I didn't ask, did y'all leave the bullets in the book?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. No, I would have left the bullets right on the floor.
Okay, so there's flattened lead pieces on the floor then where there should be bullet holes, which is even more confusing for you. So there's the casings. You find the flattened lead pieces where the bullets smashed. And, as you move closer towards Eddie, you're going to find more bits and pieces of body, but nothing else to... Yeah.
Excuse me. So I'm going to take out a little bag. I'm assuming I've got like a satchel with me.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm going to take out and I'm going to gather up the bullets and the casings. And after inspecting and not seeing holes or anything, I'm going to be like, none of this makes sense. Guys, do me a favor. Go ahead. Just keep cleaning. We got to get this taken care of before this place starts to get dangerous. So just keep cleaning and I'll keep looking around.
Right.
And I'm going to keep, not for nothing, but I'm going to be looking over every square inch of this compartment now, looking for holes.
Okay. And so while you're looking in the background, they're essentially just taking it into large sacks. They're scraping off broken glass. They're trying to sweep it up. One of the guys is mopping. So basically from the food prep car back, they're slowly kind of making their way forward towards Eddie's body, because nobody really wants to deal with that as you search the car for bullet holes.
And are they wearing gloves? Would people wear gloves back in?
Probably not.
No, I don't think so. Maybe to handle, somebody
seems
who's
like to handle chemicals and stuff.
They're just handling glass, and the person who's picking up glass would have on gloves, but that's
okay.
It. Yeah. All right, buddy, locked away in your compartment. That's the word we need.
Yep, compartment. So I am going to go over again to the far end of the room, right into the middle, and set the book down much the same way I did against the wall across from the bar.
Okay.
But I'm going to leave the ice pick in it and leave it wrapped up. And then just start pacing back and forth, trying to figure out what to do. And what I'm trying to rack my brain for is trying to think if I remember anywhere on the train where there were like storage. Was there a car that was not, that wasn't a passenger car, that might be that might be carrying any sort of, not people, but carrying cargo.
Okay. And the only thing that, as you kind of run your brain, you remember these all being, and you've walked through most of them, they're almost all passenger cars.
Okay.
Except for the locomotive.
Right. Okay. Yeah, then I think for now, Buddy is going to sort of stand guard almost to not let anyone in.
Okay.
Because he's really worried about anyone coming in contact with this book.
Okay.
And unless he can figure out something, like what he's thinking is two things: explosives and acid.
Okay.
Those are the two things that he's thinking. So if he can't come up with anything for that right now, he's going to be just trying to keep people away from it.
All right. And as you're standing there and pondering all these things, Buddy hears a voice. And it says, "Are you mad at me?"
Oh, God.
And I'll cut to Colette.
Oh, dear.
So I am with Amanda in her extra large single person compartment. And I'll ask, did you get any blood on you when you helped that woman?
And she looks down at herself, and I didn't even think about it, but it appears as if I did. And you look down, and her dress definitely has blood on it.
You should probably change as soon as you can and try not to come in contact with the blood. A man was killed, and I have reason. A man died. That's what happened. That was the screams and the blood.
And she grabs a pad of paper off her bed and a pencil and immediately starts scribbling as you're talking. And she loses track of the blood, and she goes, "Tell me more."
Do you think you could, it would make me feel better if you could take care of the blood first? I have reason to believe there might be an infection. And I just wanted to check on you because I said I'd find out, and we helped this woman, and I had blood on me, and I hold up my cuff, my missing cuff.
Okay. And she says, "Just turn around, but don't stop talking. I need to hear everything that you're saying."
Okay. I will turn around.
Okay. And you basically hear her like throw open her suitcase, but she's like, "You're not talking to me. You got to tell me what is this that you," and you'll hear intermittently between her like pulling out clothes. You'll certainly hear like the lead of the pencil furiously on the paper as you're talking to her.
Well, since you want to just, I feel like I need a content warning. The death was not easy. I'm waiting for her to give me some sort of permission to keep going because I don't want to just be like Sam and walk around saying body explosions to everyone.
Okay. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she would say, I'm all ears. Tell me anything. Tell me anything. Give me the details.
And then I'm going to stop and think for a minute and say, you said you were a researcher. You sound like a reporter.
No, I research these things. Who tell me more about what you've seen. I work for the university.
Which university?
And she says, "Why, the University of Oklahoma."
Oh, okay. That's odd.
That is not what I was expecting. I was expecting either the University of Bloodstone or Arkham. Oklahoma was not what I was thinking.
I can only tell you what I was told. I'm not an expert, but I think a man exploded.
And
I think Joey agrees.
And I'm feeling momentary discomfort because I'm telling this to a stranger and she may think I'm crazy. I mean, obviously there was blood and gore, but
yeah. And she says, "Oh, you can turn around." And she's like completely changed. And she's obviously scribbling furiously as she says, "Did you know him?" And then we'll cut to Johnny.
Okay. So, not for nothing, I'm going to stay until it's cleaned up in here.
Okay.
So,
are you advising them on how to like
Yeah. I'm telling
Uh,
him roll up the body.
Okay.
We want to have it in multiple layers. We want to get plastic. Go find some plastic from the kitchen. I don't care if you have to use plastic wrap, but we need to have a layer of plastic around the body because we got to keep this thing insulated and protected.
Okay.
Um, and then so I would have them like if I'm picturing that they have a big tarp and they could use that, but if not, I'm literally like, go get the cellophane, boys.
Yeah. I think the heavy tarp would probably fit better, and so he sends one of them back to get a heavy tarp. They wrap it. They wrap what's left of Eddie, which essentially at this point not safe for Scott, or maybe a little so, is going to be the head, the arms, the spinal column, and then the legs.
There's a lot in between there that's missing.
There's a lot of missing parts. All right, so have them wrap it up, and then just as soon as the body is wrapped up, put in the fridge. And I'm gonna be like, I'm assuming these things are huge, so they've got more than one fridge, right? So I'm like, just empty out one of your fridges, put everything in the other fridge. We got to get a body in there. You guys are gonna have to obviously decontaminate it after we get it. But we need to keep this preserved so that I can get it off to the lab, find out what happened to it.
Okay. And so we'll cut from there as the camera kind of pulls away from these employees of the train, carrying Eddie and stuffing him into the refrigerator in the food preparation car while there's food everywhere. And
not for nothing, but just one quick thing. If there's like any a plate of food or a thing of lasagna or just something, once the body's in there, I'm going to be like, this one's for you, Eddie, and I'm going to set sort of that food in there with him before I shut the door.
Okay. And so we'll pull back from that scene then, and with Buddy in his room, probably with a look on his face, right? I don't know exactly what Buddy's look would be.
Come on, Art, let's see it.
So Buddy would be back to the compartment, facing the door, covering his ears, like squeezing his hands to his ears, saying, "I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you."
Okay. And then Colette, you're in this room with Amanda, and she's in trousers now and kind of a button-down shirt, and very intently with her pencil and paper. And I'm guessing you have a look on your face saying, have I said too much to this person? And on that,
little worry, a little bemusement, and
do I need to
some
murder?
slight suspicion.
Perfect.
And that is going to do it for this episode of Under the Library. Until next time, you can find us at underthelibrary.com. So for me, for Michael, for Emily, and for Scott, and for the absent Rick and Wayne, thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.